So I'm pretty sure we have Mr. S, aka William, and Helen's going to make him look good and maybe say a few things as well. So it's Mr. and Mrs. S.
Thank you, Drew, for inviting me to speak to everyone tonight. The father of the groom speech is traditionally one of welcome and thank you. So Helen and I join with Frosty and Marina to welcome you all here tonight. Thank you for coming to share this special occasion with us. It's a real pleasure to have you all here. Our first thank you goes to Frosty and Marina for the gift of their wonderful daughter, Britta. We're also thankful for having the presence of other family members, John and Jody, Connor and May, Catherine and Louis, and Christiane, and our ever-growing band of grandchildren. We also acknowledge the presence of Helen's brother Robin and our very good friends Cindy, Zoe and Alana, and a lot of people have travelled a long way to be with us tonight, and we value their company a lot. Over the 13 years of their courtship, a long time, diverging just for a minute, I would like to bring to your attention the Simpson family motto. We have a family crest, and upon it is Hodie non crass, meaning today, not tomorrow. 3 years of keeping the engagement ring, and he told us this. It was in the glove box, Dad, waiting for the right moment. Gave Helen and me the heebie-jeebies. We have come to know Britta very well. We find she is resilient, strong, loving, capable, patient, and definitely loves Nicholas. And also a bear, I think, somehow has to come into it. And I don't know where Teddy is, but he's here too. We are very blessed to have her in the family. Nicholas, on the other hand, he's capable, adventurous, courageous, emotional when pushed. He has been in numerous dangerous situations and is well known at the emergency ward. He's fallen off mountain bikes, been chased by pigs, tangled with crocodiles, and I think I was with him when his PB was about 1.8 metres. He's been bitten by a snake and arrived back in Cairns in the Flying Doctor. And as a side, I also broke a leg and arrived back in Alice Springs by Flying Doctor. Nick has ruptured his spleen, been concussed, chased down the cane train tracks on his motorbike by police on their motorbikes. He escaped over the freshwater railway bridge. He has worried and stressed his mother and brought back to his father memories of my misadventures, of which there are many. Britta has been a wonderful partner and will now become a remarkable wife. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses and drink a toast to Nicholas and Britta. The bride and groom.
Yeah, well, thanks for all coming. There's a lot of things I could probably talk about, like when Britt was about 12 months old, we had a little pool in the backyard there. I looked around and she's flat on her back and not breathing. That was a close one. And then I was working at Compass Motel in town there, and I had Christiane and Britta with me. They were having a whoopie-doo time in the pool. Britt jumps out of the pool, races towards the fence, has a pee, but in that time she took her floaties off, and then she jumps back in the pool without the floaties and went straight to the bottom. Her brother picked her up by the hair and saved her. And yeah, that was a couple of the hairy ones. And then there could be a time I could tell you when they had the gum leaves over their private parts out in the bush when we're on a canoe trip. And that... What? And then I suppose that's what's kept us together as a close family. Like every school holidays we went and done something, Ayers Rock or Victoria or Tasmania or something like that. And if we're going to bring anything out of this wedding or the while they're together and all that sort of stuff, is you have your good times and you have your bad times. But I've found you have more bad times, but you tend to forget them, and you look at the good times, and if you hang on to them, you're going to have a pretty successful marriage. And and all Britt's friends. She's had some good ones over the years, and you've all stuck by her. And the reason is she's such a wonderful person. And Nick, well, Marina's going to talk about Nick, and his old man's already give you the best of him, but I've seen other stuff that I'm not going to mention. And I was going to say something else, but I forgot it. But anyway. Anyway, thanks for all coming, and we'll talk to you later during the night.
Evening, everybody. After 13 years, and I hope I don't repeat a lot of what's already been said, I'm glad to say Nick is now formally a member of our family as well. He was a bit reserved and quiet when we first met him, but except for Britt, our family can be a bit noisy at times, so that's understandable. But his love of fishing and camping and hunting meant he slotted right in. Actually, it didn't take too long to discover his wild side, and I won't go into all the injuries that I've sort of come across, because I think Will summarised that really well, and it meant that my speech is half the size. But it was a learning curve. I think, let me go back here. I've had to summarise now because Will's done all this stuff. But anyway, let me say, my cousins, for instance, that's one thing, they still talk about his knack of leaping out of the moving dinghy to catch crocodiles. And I was thinking how he may have settled down since he's become a dad, but alas, no. Nick, I'm very sorry about your current break. I hope it's the last one. And I hope it's going to heal very quickly and get dealt with. But I'm not quite finished. I have to say I have a big soft spot for Nick. He's helped me out a lot of times in the past, a bunch of times doing jobs around my unit and fixing my car when I drove the Yaris, and helping me out with Pon and Opa a little while back. When I ask him, he's there pretty much straight away, and with a very cheerful demeanour. Nothing's too much trouble. And that's such a load off for me sometimes. But most important of all is his loving concern for my precious girl, or our precious girl. Something all parents hope for. And they say good things come to those who wait. Well, we haven't had to wait too long. Since Nick's arrival, we've been blessed with 2 beautiful grandchildren and many wonderful memories. And we're looking forward to many, many more. And of course, all the best to both of you. Love you both. Good night.
If Marina's talking about more grandchildren, there'll be a lot of people here surprised, I can tell you.
Thank you, parents of the bride and groom. Can I now have the bridal party? But Marina said good things come to those who wait. She didn't realise with Britta marrying Nick, she would have to wait. Like, I'm disabled, Nick's able-bodied, but he doesn't do anything in a hurry, the young fella, at all. Like, I've grown up with him. It doesn't happen fast, but it happens. Hence why Fletch and Amber coming to the world. But anyway, can I now have the bridal party up here with Evan and Ash to speak first?
Oh, hello.
Righto. So first of all, I just want to say what it is a treat to be standing here today next to our best friends on such a special occasion. Ladies, looking amazing. Ash, beautiful. Britta, you've knocked it out of the park. And Nick, I guess that's a nice haircut. It complements your crutches.
Oh, babe, I think tonight is a first for a lot of us.
It's definitely the first time I've been at this block not covered in dirt, diesel or kids, that's for sure.
This is true. I'm usually in Crocs and smelling of lakes, so this is a beautiful change of pace. It'll be the first time we share the story of exactly when we knew Britt was destined to be a fisherman's wife. But wait, it's the side of Britt you've never seen. First, I want to hear about when you met the one and only Nicholas Pickles Simpson.
All right, Pickles. So it was 2008, and I moved here with our good friend Harvey, and he introduced me to probably the best group of mates I could have asked for. We were camping at Tinaroo. First time I've been camping with Nick, and he thought he'd teach me how to rally his 94 Hilux. This didn't end so well. As we rolled and landed back on our wheels, I thought to myself, this dude is an animal. I liked it. I'm here for it. This swiftly turned into the first time I lied to Helen Simpson. Sorry, Helen. I hid that Hilux in my double garage for a good while.
You're welcome, Nick. I too count myself lucky to have landed at the Simpsons' house on Harvey Road when I first moved here. Within days of arriving, though, I was greeted by a snake. It was on my bedside table, wrapped around the lamp, and it was not happy to see me. That was the first time I saw Nick wrangle a snake, but it would not be the last. Over time, I realized that they're not around every corner, but they do tend to hang out around Nick more than regular folk. It wasn't long before I was working for The Simpsons, and then later got to really know Britt when she joined the team at Cans Beaches Storage. Britta, you are the easiest person to love that I have ever known. You are fun, you love food, and dang, can you cook it. You are generous and a problem solver, and you don't take life or broken legs too seriously. Thank goodness for Nick. You're the kind of person people just want to be around all the time. All of this beauty inside a woman who also manages to be effortlessly gorgeous in every single situation. We shared so many big moments, yummy meals, crazy customers, and firsts in that place. And I consider my time spent working with you both amongst, you too, Will, amongst the best time that I've ever had at a job. It's just not very often that you get to work with some of your favorite humans in the world, and I'll be forever grateful for you Simpsons taking a chance on a seppo like me. Did I say that right, babe?
Yeah, it's something like that. Ash is lucky she doesn't have a hard time being understood in Australia like I do in Alaska. Some of the looks I get are ridiculous. Nick and Britt know this well since their trip to Alaska. This was when we first saw the side of Britt no one has ever seen. In 2008, our bellies full of bacon maple bars, we were out on the boat in the frigid ocean of Alaska. The poles were set, the whales were breaching, the sea lions lazing around, and who knows? Oh no, sorry. And she was wearing Ash's hand-me-down cold clothes. The lions jumped, fish on. One of us reeled in what felt like a monster of a fish. When it arrived, the bat was in Britt's hand. She professionally wielded that fish bonker, beating it to a bloody pulp.
Oof, yeah, that was truly the end of that poor fish. Blood and guts everywhere.
Britt, you really handled business on that boat, and I hope to never cross you.
I think since I've never seen Britt angry, babe, you're pretty safe. Nick, Britt, today is a big moment in your lives, and a lot of love, blood, sweat, dirt, paint, turf, and tears have been poured into this property and this day to make sure that we're all having the amazing time that we're having, celebrating the love you two have for one another and your journey into marriage. These big moments are amazing, and the thing that ties them together, the thing that builds a life and a marriage, are all the little moments. And these are the ones that you two do better than anyone I know. For many, many years now, you two have been saying I do to showing up and supporting each other every single day. And this is why you'll have a fun and joy-filled marriage that will carry you through every challenge life offers. We're all so lucky to be part of your epic love story, and we can't wait to be doing life alongside you two.
Here's to Nick and Britt.
Thank you, Evan and Ash. Johnny and Connor, you now got that to follow. Sucks to be you two, but you'll be right.
John, take it away. All right, so the Connor and John show. We've been asked to get up here and keep it brief, like a short skirt, long enough to cover the essentials, but short enough to hold your attention. Yeah, you've heard that one before. Anyway, you're probably wondering how Nick developed into the character that he is today. And it's because he's got two older brothers and an older sister to show him what works and what doesn't. Still didn't learn anything. He's pretty accident prone, so luckily Mum was in the medical profession and she got us first class seats to the GP and backstage passes to the hospital. Never had to wait, so it was really handy. Dad had an extremely strong work ethic. If you want to call him sick, he better be dead. To his credit, he used to chip in every now and then with real-life examples of what not to do, such as pick up a piece of dead coral, a little bit short, a little bit fragile, dive down with Nick and demonstrate how to use said piece of coral to destroy a crown of thorns. Coral breaks, thorn goes into thumb, hell breaks loose underwater. Freaking hilarious. Also, if it wasn't for Nick, I probably wouldn't be in my position today. When he was in grade 10, he said he might like to be a chopper pilot in the army, and I thought, well, I'm not doing anything. I'm on the dole at the moment. So I'll have a crack at the process and give him a heads up. Fast forward 2 years, ended up with a commercial license in a fixed-wing aircraft, and used to pick him up from school and do a joy flight every now and then just to keep my hand in the game before I found my first job. And one day we're flying along, 3,000 feet sort of thing. Nick says, "What's that shitty little airport down there? Maybe we should land." Anyway, we threw out the brakes and dived down pretty steep and landed on this thing and quickly realised maybe it wasn't operational anymore. Because what we thought was red and brown dirt from 3,000 feet ended up being 11 billion kangaroos. So they were dodging the propeller, they were under the wings. There was clumps of grass coming out of the freaking pitch, and then all of a sudden there's this massive trench through the middle, pretty deep. We didn't have a lot of airspeed, so we bunny hopped this thing in the plane with 20 kangaroos looking through the window. Put the power up, and we went around. And try it again. Yeah, probably would have been better if you took safer if you took those piano lessons after school, eh, Nick? Anyway, like Drew said, got to keep this PG for the kids up the back there, so better wrap it up. You got any good stories, Johnny?
Not really, no.
I think all the good ones have been stolen, I suppose.
I think they've been told. PG ones.
Yeah, all the PG ones. So. Britta, you've got your hands full. You've done a good job. You've been at it for a while, so you passed the test.
Yeah.
And yeah, congratulations. You've done well.
Good job.
Thank you, Connor. Johnny, you've always been a man of few words. Britta, are you right? Like, are you good? Okay, next up we have a surprise for Britta and Nick, actually. A surprise in the speech department. And sorry, Nick, it's not me yet. So keep holding your cheeks together, because I've got some stuff to say about you, big fella. But it is Christian. Christian, can you make yourself present to the stage, please?
Thank you, Drew. The other day I was confronted by Abby and Cody and Drew, who's doing a wonderful job here tonight, by the way. Thank you, Drew, so much. And when I say confronted by Abby, it just, she made like a fruit and cheese platter and poured a huge glass of wine and was like, it's your sister's wedding, you're doing a fucking speech. Just... So, I'll just try and get through this. It's one page, and this is thanks to alcohol and Abby, basically. It's a wedding poem. Okay. I first met Britta when she was born, a baby and brand new, but I cannot remember the meeting because I was only 2. An early memory I have of her is of her struggling to swim as she fell into a pool that was left unattended. I was 4 now, so I picked her up and helped her out, and I figured my days as a caring older brother had ended. Growing up, we would often fight and argue about many things, all of them then, and certainly now inconsequential. Often, like many siblings amongst this fighting, you lose sight of the actual person and their potential. And then you turn around one day and suddenly are amazed by this amazing person who is now an adult, a mother, and today a bride. She's fucking emotional speed bump. Hang on. Just give me 1 sec. It's fucking fireball. Okay. So, someone who's traveled. She's been to America, Canada, Spain, Holland, Switzerland, Italy, Russia, Japan, the UK, Australia, far and wide. She conducts herself with composure, logic, grace. When she's stressed, but still manages a smile on her face. She just goes about her business. Stop. All right. She goes about her business. She doesn't really complain. Of all the conversations I encounter, Britta will often offer the perspective that is the least insane. From who I've met, she has a vibrant network of friends who all know how to drink and have a ball. She's become a wonderful mother, especially for someone who didn't really want any children at all. With all that screaming and shitting everywhere, Britta said she was not interested in having a kid, but I guess that's changed. She has 2 now, and scream and shit everywhere, they certainly did. Along with that, they brought such boundless and indescribable joy to our family and me. I like being an uncle. Fuck. It's meaningful, cool, and for the most part, it's free. Being a parent, as a majority here know, it's a different story. It requires commitment, dedication. It gets little acknowledgement and glory. But within that, it might be the best thing you do in life. Thanks, guys. It might be the best thing you do in life. And if things get overwhelming, it's good to have someone to hold on to in moments of strife. For Britta, that person is Nick, who she met a little over 14 years ago. Okay, 14 years ago. And they have then walked together through sunshine and snow. Britta spent her 29th birthday in labour and, from what I understand, a great deal of pain. But then the next day out came a baby and Fletcher was his name. And then Nick fixed up this big boat, or he bought a big boat and he wanted to fix it up and call the boat Ember. And then Britta said, oh, you know what? Let's use that name for our second baby. I'm pregnant again, remember? So with a home, 2 kids, 2 dogs, a boat, a decade behind them, over a decade behind them, Nick figured he was home and hose. With all those things taken care of, he thought, fuck it, I'll propose. And so here we are, where I'm very grateful to be standing with you people on this special day, celebrating in this place, by this house that Nick actually built, by the way. Here's a location that will be home to many moments, memories to come, birthdays, Christmases, Tuesdays, and a wedding just like this one. Today we toast, the 2 of you for sure, wishing you full speed ahead to your family of 4. I mean, obviously there's more than 4. You've also got Teddy and Bear and the rest of your family that's standing there and there. People who are happy to be there by your side, offering love and support, whatever else we can provide. Congratulations to you both for finding and celebrating that someone special who makes you want to be the best person you can be. It is difficult, I find, to fully express. Anyway, it's the jalapenos. It's difficult, I find, to fully express and articulate what you two mean to me. So at the very least, I figured this short poem that's extended into a long poem should do the trick. All my love to you both, and I'm so very happy to be here at the wedding of Britta and Nick.
So I happened to mention earlier today to like my sister-in-law, Abby Hay or Abby Ronning, once she's had a few beverages, or Abigail, that I was going to introduce Christian as a surprise to Britta. And Abby told me I don't want to go after him because he's the best thing I've ever seen. And I was like, right, you just got stage fright. Turns out he is the best thing anyone's ever seen. But without further ado, We've got Abby, we've got Cody and Abby. Cody is Nick's best friend. They were joined by the umbilical cord or a bit of dirt or a BMX bike. And Abby and Britt were joined by makeup and like things like that. I don't know. Give it up for Abby and Cody.
I absolutely hate every second of this. But I love Britta, so whatever. I first met Britta almost 14 years ago now in Sydney on the first day of our makeup course. Both of us new to Sydney, not knowing anyone. I spotted her. The group of all of the other girls thought she was really pretty, and I decided we needed to be friends. And 6 weeks later, we were living together, and we have been inseparable ever since. I love Britta because she was funny and kind and always up for a good time. Very patient and laid back, no drama, no fuss. She was like sunshine in human form. Over time, I learnt more about my wonderful new friend. She loved to travel, loved to wine. She was not shy to drop the occasional F-bomb into a conversation. She loved her family, her dogs. She was terrifying to drive with. She hated dancing, but she could also model strut a catwalk, which doesn't really make sense, but anyway. Britta had decided to go back to Cairns one weekend to visit, and she asked me to go with her. And I'd never been before, so I was keen for a rager. I'd already heard so much about her friends and all her family, and of course, the famous Nick Simpson.
When I met Nick, I understood why she was still talking about this boy in another state and why they got along so well together. And Nick was our personal tour guide, and he even pretended to drive off the side of Coppolo Dam to scare us. And also, I remember thinking he was like really cute. We had lots of fun, but also importantly, I could tell that Britta adored him, and she was constantly laughing when he was around. And it was not hard to like Nick. He quickly became one of my best friends too. Anyway, it was during this trip where I also met Britta's family for the first time. Frosty and Marina welcomed me into their home multiple times, taking care of me, and Marina always cooking for us and delivering us something. She's like, doesn't matter just the time, just call us, I'll come and get you. 2 a.m, we called her. The poor thing. Anyway, Frosty also just flicking us some cash, and we're like... inviting us for a meal any time of the night. I also got to spend some time with Christiane, and most brother-sister duos aren't as close as them, but they got along so well, and only occasionally she would be screaming down the phone at him, also hanging up, but it was fine. It was just... It was also normal, but anyway, the Westervales are a generous, tight-knit family, and I was lucky enough to live with them for a short amount of time. And Britta shared everything with me, and without ever batting an eyelid, and that's just the type of person she is. The year after we finished our study, we both got jobs where we spent most of our days on the phone to each other. And when a customer walked in and inconvenienced us with being served, we would serve them, but... And Britta also, we had a 2-bedroom apartment, and she got her mattress off the side of the road. And... Cody's pointing this out to me. Because most of my family were confused about our sexuality. But we just enjoyed sharing that side of the mattress road together. What?
Where are you at?
Anyway.
Let it go, Cody.
I'm going impromptu now, just FYI. So, my family were worried about our sexuality. And we had a great time. Wait, we're just... Okay, Cody, come back.
Cody's turn now.
No, I'm joking. I can find it. Oh, no. Just wait. Give me 2 minutes. Although it took a few more years than we would have liked, we planned this wedding a long time ago. Just FYI. We did. We planned it. It was a long... Yeah. It was literally... We planned it before Nick and even you. I think we did okay. We're here now. Anyway. Just 2 seconds. The week Nick flew to Canada indefinitely, it was a very grim one in our household. It was, and still is, the very few times I've ever seen Britta cry. Thankfully, the distance didn't change a thing for them, and they spent hours on the phone and Skyping each other, and I only made the mistake once of not knocking before entering. We have had milestone birthdays, a blurry trip to Vegas. We have spent a summer backpacking through Europe, some accommodation booked by Britta. I'm surprised I'm here today to speak about. Happy times and sad. She really didn't like the idea of being children and becoming a mother, but it actually came so naturally to her. And fast forward to her having Fletch. And finally, I was so excited when she was pregnant and, she was going to have a baby and I was going to have a baby. And then she had Fletch and they fucking hated each other. And this was just not what we envisaged. And I just dreamed of these days and we were going to be having mat leave and we were going to be going to coffee dates and they were scratching the shit out of each other. And it was biting and it was awful. Anyway, it was horrendous. Today, things are different. And they actually get along pretty great. The 5 of them, all in this house, the Simpson family lake house, that we're so lucky to spend our weekends at. Thank you, Helen and Will. And it really is impossible to put into words how much both of them mean to us. Both Nick and Britt. Like, Nick is one of my best friends too. And yeah, you are our people. We love you. And double days for life.
Ladies and gentlemen, Abby Ronning. Also, Christian Westerveld has been blowing my mind since grade 10 with his ability to just speak. I used to have to go behind him in grade 10 English and it sucked. So it was rough. Anyway, that's Abby's speech. She's 5 dot points down the bottom of mine. I'm going to elaborate. I was super confident, but those spicy margaritas have hit me right in the honey hole, so we might struggle a little bit. Firstly, just welcome everybody to this beautiful place. Helen and Will, marvellous job, Nick, building it with the help of all the boys. But Britta, you truly are the Duchess from Dutchland. And Nick, I've never seen you look better, to be honest. Yeah.
He looks great.
He does look great, actually. But we're going to go back a little bit. Let's go right back to we're all in our early 20s. Me, Simo, and all the buoys, just living fast, footloose and fancy-free. And then Nicholas meets Britta, and we're like, oh, yeah, righto, she's pretty cool for a girl, I guess. And what she didn't realise at this time is Nick and I were still very much inseparable, and we just did everything together. And he's calls her up, hey, you keen to go on a date? And she's like, yeah, no worries. So we pick her up, all of a sudden, guess who's in the front seat? Me. Hey, you want to go to the movies? Guess who's in the front seat? Me. Hey, we're going to the dam, I'll pick you up soon. Guess who's in the front seat? Me! And it just goes on, and then the 4th time we roll up and I'm sitting in the front seat and she goes, oh, you again. And I was like, whoa. So I beg your pardon. I was here first, Britta. I loved him first. And then time rolls on, and Nick and Britt are doing their thing. Look, like, go you two. Go Nick and Britt. Seems to be working out. Britt buggers off to Sydney. Nick's just a moping mess. I was like, all right, well, this sucks. And then Britt decides to come back, and she brings with her probably the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. She's down there. She's doing this this course in makeup and a degree in drinking, and she brings Abby back. And she had this ploy, because I was always around and I was afraid of kissing girls. She was like, Britt, you need to hook up with this dude because I'm pretty sure he's gay. And I was like, you dirty dog.
I'll take one for the team.
So one thing leads to another, and next minute it's just like best mates dating best mates. And it like literally, best thing ever, turns into like an episode of the OC. I was like, this is amazing. Clearly I'm Seth because I was funnier, and Nick was Ryan because he looks like Matt Damon. It's perfect. Couldn't be happier. And Nick has always been known very affectionately, probably not to his face, but among the boys as an 85% man. He just gets things 85% done, and then he's like, yeah, that'll do it. So he's like, he's building this house, and he's like, that's 85% done. Picks up a welder, I'm going to build this boat. That's about 85% done. Next minute, he's like, that's a half-finished house, half-finished boat. He's welding 10 trailers. It's exceptionally overwhelming. Like, you're just like, come on, mate, just pull your finger out and finish something. And for the longest time, we all thought that Nick was going to be one of Britt's 85% projects. Because he's like, and we love him to death. But we're like, oh, what's he like? Girl meets boy. Boy dates girl for like 10 plus years. They build the house together, have 2 kids together. All he had to do was literally put a ring on it and marry the girl, and he fully lingered at 85% for so long. But eventually he got it done, and we're all here, and it all came out in the wash. So you can't really be mad at him. God love him, eh? And so The Simpsons in general, well, I think that motto is massively flawed as well. Today, not tomorrow. Simo's like, oh, not tomorrow, maybe next week. But obviously Nicholas and I, Abby and, sorry. Obviously Abby and I have a tremendous amount of love for Nick and Britt as a couple, but also as individuals, because they are massive parts of our life. But I was very fortunate to meet The Simpsons as a very young boy, and it was really wonderful because not only did I have my fantastic mum and dad and my nuclear family of 5, but I also had these other 6 humans, and I was just like, man, you ask any of them, all I did was ask questions like all day. And I was just like this sponge, and I just wanted to learn as much as I could. So when I had my side, and then you're blessed with another 6 fantastic people to just ask, it was pretty bad. I'm embarrassed about it now, but it all worked out. But it was good and bad in a way, because Nick and I were very much younger than John and Connor, but we idolised their lifestyles, which put us in so many life-threatening situations as 6 and 7-year-olds, and we were far too young to comprehend the danger we were in. And that became our normal, which led us into teenagers, and we're like, yeah, this would be sick, man, come on. And all our friends are looking at us like we're freaking lunatics. But, yeah, it was endless gratitude and many, many thanks to Helen, Will, John, Connor, Katie, and Nicholas. It really was just tremendous to be around you and growing up with you. Very thankful for always having me there. You did. Yeah, Drew was there as well. But You did. But at the end of the day, we're here because two beautiful kids fell in love and now they have two beautiful kids. And to be able to witness this from just like hopeless 20-year-olds into now we're all mid-30s, we've grown our own families and we're doing it. It's really been an honour to be along for your ride and see everything from our perspective. And we're very, very proud of the both of you. So yeah, here's to Nick and Britt.
Oh, one more thing. We have actually, Nick and Britta love a good fireball. And we have organised everyone who wants to have a fireball, go to the bar right now because fireballs on us. Let's go.
Okay, as you can see, we've now got the bride and groom, Nick and Britt, ready to say a few words. Cody's just given Britt a speech. He was meant to do that a while ago, but he's the best man, so it's all right. No dramas. Here you go, Nick and Britt.
Hi, everyone. Okay, I'm so glad I had some fireball before this. But anyway, firstly, I'd like to thank all of you for coming tonight and celebrating with us, especially those that have travelled from like all over the country, pretty much. We are so excited to be sharing this day with all of our favourite people. I just want to say a big thank you to our beautiful family and friends who have rallied together to help Nick and I get this place in perfect shape for the day's celebrations. We really needed your help this week. And yeah, no, it's been amazing and we're so happy. I want to say a special thank you to Helen and Will for letting us use this amazing property. I think I speak for the rest of the family when I say we still pinch ourselves every day knowing that we get to come up here and make amazing memories. I can now officially call you my mother and father-in-law. But I have been saying that for a long time anyway because you guys have always made me feel like part of the family from the very beginning. Nick and I appreciate all the support you have given us throughout the years, from building our house to out at work and now all your grandparent duties. You guys are truly wonderful and I love you both so much. Mum and Dad, I wish I could stand here and say all the things I want to say, but I would be a blubbering mess. You both have given me endless amounts of support through all my life, as well as Nick. You have always made me feel loved and secure, and I have grown up never wishing I had more. Thank you for everything you have done and still do for Nick and I. I love you guys more than you ever know. Our kids are so lucky to have 4 amazing grandparents, and they love you all so dearly. Okay. Christian, it's been so wonderful to have you home with us for this long. You've exceeded, where are you? All the uncle expectations, and you're extremely adored by 2 tiny little humans. We really are going to miss you. Sorry, I knew I would get emotional, this one, when you go. But you've been waiting for this for so long, and I am so happy for you. And I love you. My beautiful bridesmaids, Abby, I can't see because I'm tearing. Abby, Ash, Tian, and Andy, thank you so much for standing beside me today. You guys have exceeded like all of your bridesmaid duties today. My goodness. You ladies are incredible women, and I admire you so much. I need a tissue. And I'm so thankful to be surrounded by all of your love today. Just hold on. I'm always so snuffly. I want to give a special mention to my best friend and the other love of my life. My maid of honour, Abby. Where are you? Abby, I'm so grateful every day for our friendship. Sharing so many special milestones with you with you, such as travelling overseas, living out of home, and now motherhood, will be some of the best memories of my life. I think anyone who knows you will agree you are literally a superwoman. I will never know how you manage 3 kids, a job, studying part-time, and still remain so sane every day. Despite all of this, you still manage to nail being an incredible friend on top of it all. And finally, I have a few words to say about my husband. It feels like a lifetime ago that we first met, but from that very first day, chilling, hungover at the beach, you have always been so easy to be with, and I was naturally drawn to you. You have always been the only person to really take me out of my comfort zone, leaving us in some questionable predicaments. But despite all that, I have always felt safe with you. Being with you has really been one big adventure that you continuously make happen. This is because you're the most capable man I know, with a very impressive skill set. As Fletch would say, some mad skills.
85% skills.
Yeah, well. You've taught me a lot through the years and opened my eyes to so many exciting experiences. Your sense of adventure has already rubbed off on both of our kids, and I hope that they will continue to love it all as much as I do. I just want to say I'm so proud of you. You are truly amazing. I love our life together and the family we've created, and I love you so much.
Yeah, give me a minute. I'll just warm up to the situation. Mate, I literally had to throw my speech out. That was ridiculous. Everything just blew me away just now. Yeah, thanks for coming. Just ridiculous. Did not expect any of this to happen. To my dudes, man, far out. I've never cried so much tonight in my life. I thought Britt was going to break my heart, but you guys broke it more. Pretty much how I met Britt was Velvet Underground. Truly met Britt. Yeah, she was a good time. No, that was how I fell in love with Britt. Was about 4 months later after I met her. We'd been hanging out for a while. She left to Sydney, and I remember the precise moment on our little Nokia 1100s, I think they were, texting madly. I was doing some dude's air conditioner, chemical cleaning it. It was horrible. I had to walk outside and I had to give it up to the tradie. Tradie had to take over the handles. And yeah, I was on the phone, blower, while she was getting on the airport, on the plane, and I just knew. I was just like, I'm done. I'm broken. She's leaving. And I can't, what have I done? I've let her go. Yeah, so that was the moment I fell in love with Britt. It was pretty soon into the situation, for sure. But yeah, Taxi. So Cody became second best pretty quickly on that front. Sorry, mate, but it was, you don't have, I won't say that. So it's far out, man. You guys were just taking all my dog points down and just destroyed them. Just got nothing left. Got to keep it quick. But anyways, I've literally only cried before tonight, twice, I think. Once was when Britta gave birth to Ember. I was destroyed pretty well. Fletchy, no, he didn't get a look in me.
He was too traumatised.
I was too traumatised after Fletchy. I was broken. The poor little Fletchy didn't get a look in for the cry. And the other time is, Bear went missing, so. No, it was tonight. When you walked down today, I was just destroyed. Never been so emotional before in my life. And, today has literally just destroyed my crying count for sure. I've lost count. This is me crying, by the way. So. Thanks for the help, everyone. After destroying my knee last weekend, I was like, I'm in this by myself. And you guys all just came through and just made this place ridiculous. And I can't thank you all enough for being here tonight and getting this all done for me and doing the most emotional speeches I've ever heard in my life. It's just knocked me for 25 million miles. But thank you all very, very much for being here. And we've got a little cheeky surprise. It's going to start in 15 minutes, literally. So if we can make our way down to the end of the lights there, grab a drink, and enjoy the show. Thanks very much, everyone. Cheers.